Some breakups explode across headlines, others vanish in silence, erased before the world can blink. In Hollywood, reputation is currency, and for many black actors, keeping heartbreak hidden wasn't just a choice, it was survival. Behind the glamorous premieres and red carpet smiles were betrayals, secret separations, and marriages that shattered long before the public ever sensed a crack. Today, we're stepping into the shadows to reveal 19 of the most painful private divorces these stars tried to keep far from the spotlight. Brace yourself. The truth behind these splits is more shocking than the rumors. 1. Halle Bailey and DDG. This breakup had the internet doing cartwheels. Halle Bailey, the stunning princess from Disney's The Little Mermaid, and rapper DDG had always looked like they were living a fairy tale love story. With their adorable baby boy Halo, fans were convinced they were building a picture-perfect little family. Then October 2024 hit, and everything flipped overnight. Out of nowhere, DDG took to Instagram and dropped a breakup announcement that felt like a digital mic drop. He said they were officially done and would now focus on raising Halo together as co-parents. But here's where things got even messier. Halle never confirmed a thing. No statement, no clarification, no subtle emoji. She simply vanished from social media like a ghost. And that silence only fueled the flames. The internet immediately erupted. For months, people had whispered that DDG was dimming her shine, that Halle was soaring while he was clinging to her spotlight. So when the split went public, fans weren't surprised, they were ready. And the timing, brutal. Halle was still glowing from her blockbuster success, red carpets, interviews, global praise, and suddenly, breakup drama barged into the room. To his credit, DDG kept things calm. He emphasized that Halo came first and that they were committed to doing right by their son. Still, it played out exactly like a Gen Z celebrity breakup. One person posts, the other goes silent, and the world watches like it's a weekly series finale. No matter what happens next, they're tied forever through Halo. Fans can only hope the co-parenting chapter goes smoother than the breakup announcement that shook the timeline. 2. Anthony Mackie and Shaletta Chapel. The Falcon himself kept this entire chapter hidden better than any Marvel script leak. Anthony Mackie and his childhood sweetheart, Shaletta, had the kind of love story people dream about. They grew up together in New Orleans, went from childhood friends to high school sweethearts, and eventually walked down the aisle in 2014 in a quiet, beautiful ceremony. With 4 kids together, most people assumed their bond was unshakable. But here sits the twist no one saw coming. Anthony secretly filed for divorce in late 2017, and the world didn't hear a single whisper about it until 2 years later. That level of privacy is practically unheard of in Hollywood. Their divorce was finalized in 2018, yet fans were left stunned when the news finally surfaced in 2019. TMZ reportedly had to dig hard just to uncover the story. The couple agreed to share joint custody of their children, but the real reasons behind their separation remain locked away. And knowing Anthony's famously private nature, that's not surprising. He has always kept his personal life far from the spotlight. What makes this story even more fascinating is that Shaletta isn't part of the entertainment world at all. She's a regular woman who probably never wanted the cameras, interviews, or Hollywood chaos. The fact that they managed to keep their breakup hidden for nearly 2 years says everything. They were committed to protecting their peace, and more importantly, shielding their children from the media glare. 3. Monica and Shannon Brown. RCNB Queen Monica and former NBA star Shannon Brown once lived a love story that felt like it belonged in a glossy music video. Monica was already a powerhouse in music, adored for her voice and longevity in the industry, while Shannon was thriving on the basketball court. Together, they looked like the perfect blend of talent and charisma, the kind of couple people rooted for. But behind the beautiful pictures and public admiration, their marriage went through storms that were impossible to hide. Rumors swirled online about Shannon being unfaithful, and soon their private troubles spilled onto social media. Monica has never been the type to stay silent when she feels disrespected, so some of their issues unfolded right in front of millions of followers. They made several attempts to repair the relationship, trying to hold on to what they had built, but in the end, they chose to part ways in 2019. Despite everything, what stands out most is how gracefully they've handled the aftermath. Monica has been incredibly mature, openly saying that although the marriage ended, the respect between them as co-parents remains strong. She emphasizes that their priority now is raising their children with love and stability. Shannon, on the other hand, has kept things more private, but it's clear they've figured out a peaceful rhythm for the sake of their family. Monica has always spoken honestly about her personal life, so her transparency about this chapter is exactly what fans admire her for. For Cardi B and Offset, where do you even begin with the saga between Cardi B and Offset? Their relationship has been one of the most chaotic storylines in modern celebrity culture, a never-ending roller coaster that refuses to slow down. They secretly tied the knot. Then she discovered been cheating. They split, reconciled. More cheating rumors hit the internet. Then another breakup. Watching it all unfold has been downright exhausting. By August 2024, Cardi finally filed for divorce again, and this time she wasn't holding back. She asked the court for primary custody of their kids, Culture and Wave, signaling she was serious about moving on. But the real plot twist came immediately after. Literally the very next day, she revealed she was pregnant with their third child. The timing felt almost unreal. Their daughter arrived in September 2024, meaning the two were welcoming a new baby while simultaneously navigating yet another divorce. The situation was nothing short of chaotic. Offset, in true dramatic fashion, took his apologies public, posting long emotional messages online, showing up at her concerts with flowers, doing whatever he could to win her back. But this time, Cardi seemed done with the cycle. She shifted her focus to her music, her kids, and her peace of mind. One thing that has always set Cardi apart is her honesty. She never pretends her relationship is flawless. She openly admitted how Offset's cheating hurt her, and she's never sugarcoated the emotional toll of their ups and downs. Fans may be worn out by their constant breakups and makeups, but many respect her decision to finally put herself first. Co-parenting 3 children is never easy, but with time, patience, and maturity, hopefully they'll find a way to make it work for their family. 5. Tia Mowry and Corey Hardrict. When Tia Mowry announced she was divorcing Corey Hardrict in October 2022, Hollywood genuinely gasped. These two had spent 14 years together, long enough for people to believe they were one of the few stable, drama-free couples in the industry. Their story went all the way back to the days when Tia was still best known for starring alongside her twin, and Corey was a struggling actor hustling for his big break. Their romance felt wholesome, two people growing through life's challenges, cheering each other on from the sidelines. And when Tia's career soared, she didn't leave Corey behind. She lifted him with her. They built a beautiful family with 2 adorable kids, and Tia constantly shared sweet, picture-perfect moments that made fans believe true love still existed in Hollywood. Then suddenly, the divorce. No warning, no scandals, just a quiet announcement that their journey together had come to an end. Tia handled the news with grace, emphasizing friendship, respect, and their commitment to co-parenting. She didn't sugarcoat how hard the decision was, but she stayed honest and classy, as she always has. What shocked people most was that there were 0 signs, no cheating, no public fights, no messy headlines. Some relationships simply end, even without chaos. Since the split, Tia has been glowing, focusing on her kids, diving into new projects, and embracing her independence. She looks happier, lighter, and more confident than ever. And honestly, it's refreshing to see a Hollywood breakup handled without bitterness or public mudslinging. 6. Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. Even though they never made it down the aisle, the split between Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey hit the internet in a way few breakups do. For a while they were everyone's favorite duo, the golden pair social media couldn't stop talking about. Michael had just been named People magazine's sexiest man alive, and Lori, the stunning daughter of Steve Harvey, was living a lifestyle most people only dream of. When the two confirmed their romance in January 2021, the internet exploded. Their photos looked straight out of a romance movie, dreamy vacations, matching smiles and sweet posts that made fans believe they were endgame. Michael appeared head over heels, and Lori seemed to be enjoying every moment. By their one-year anniversary in November 2021, people were convinced a proposal was on the horizon. But then, out of nowhere, June 2022 arrived, and the relationship was over. No drama, no public fallout, just silence. The suddenness shocked everyone. There were no cheating whispers, no arguments caught on camera, nothing to suggest trouble. One day their feeds were filled with love, and the next day all those couple photos had quietly disappeared. Michael reportedly took the breakup hard, while Lori seemed to glide forward without missing a beat. True to her nature, she kept the details private, leaving fans to speculate. Maybe the age difference played a role, or maybe they simply wanted different futures. Whatever the reason, they both seem to be thriving now. Michael is back on the market as Hollywood's most eligible bachelor, and Lori continues living her best, unbothered life. 7. Lupita Nyong'o and Joshua Jackson. This one grabbed everyone's attention because Lupita Nyong'o and Joshua Jackson felt like the kind of Hollywood pairing no one saw coming. Lupita, the brilliant Oscar winner celebrated for her role in 12 Years a Slave, has always carried herself with quiet grace and mystery. Joshua, known for iconic roles in Dawson's Creek and The Affair, brought his own nostalgic charm to the mix. When dating rumors surfaced in October 2023, the internet leaned in. Joshua had just finalized his divorce from Jodie Turner-Smith, making him newly single, while Lupita, famously private about her relationships, suddenly appearing beside him made fans even more curious. They were spotted attending events together, looking relaxed, happy, and surprisingly compatible. But just as people started warming up to the unexpected romance, it quietly came to an end. Exactly 1 year after the rumors began, Lupita confirmed in an interview with Harper's Bazaar UK that the relationship was over. The timing was so precise, it almost felt like they gave themselves a 1-year trial to see if love would stick. Neither has shared details about the breakup, and honestly, that might be the healthiest choice. Being in the spotlight is hard enough. Not every celebrity romance needs a public post-mortem. 8. Tina Knowles and Richard Laws. When Tina Knowles filed for divorce from Richard Lawson in July 2023, it stunned just about everyone. For years, it looked like Tina had found her fairy tale second chance at love. Their 2015 wedding was gorgeous, elegant, and full of joy, the kind of ceremony that made people believe their happily ever after was locked in. Richard, a longtime actor, and Tina, the mother of Beyoncé and Solange, seemed perfectly aligned. They understood each other's careers, moved in the same creative circles, and always appeared genuinely happy in each other's presence. Their social media posts were full of affection, laughter, and snapshots of a couple enjoying life. But behind those sweet pictures, things weren't as seamless as fans believed. Their divorce became official in August 2024, and the terms surprised many. Neither party received ongoing spousal support, but Tina agreed to a one-time payment of $300,000, along with a few additional assets. It was a very specific, very tidy arrangement, the kind that suggested they both wanted closure more than conflict. What shocked people even more was how quietly Tina handled the entire situation. The Knowles family is famously private, and Tina upheld that standard with grace. Even though she's generally more open than her daughters, she kept the details minimal and the tone dignified. Richard, for his part, remained silent, probably a wise choice when dealing with one of the most respected families in entertainment. While it's always sad to see a marriage end, they both navigated it like adults. Tina is now refocusing on her family, her projects, and her peace. And by all appearances, she's thriving. 9. Blair Underwood and Desiree DaCosta. This breakup caught people off guard because Blair Underwood and Desiree DaCosta had been married for an incredible 27 years, practically a lifetime by Hollywood standards. Blair has been a familiar face on television and in films for decades, while Desiree chose to live outside the spotlight, a balance many believed helped their marriage endure for so long. Together, they raised 3 children and built what looked like a strong, grounded family. So when they released a joint statement in 2021 announcing their divorce, fans were stunned. The message was thoughtful, calm, and full of respect. They mentioned that the decision came after deep reflection and prayer, and they emphasized their continued commitment to their children and to maintaining a friendship. What stood out was the complete lack of scandal. No whispers of infidelity, no financial drama, no public tension, just 2 people acknowledging that, sometimes, even long-lasting marriages reach a natural conclusion. Blair has long had a reputation as one of Hollywood's genuine good guys, so it didn't surprise anyone that he moved through the separation with dignity and maturity. The fact that they crafted a joint announcement showed how determined they were to handle the split the right way, with grace, unity, and care for their family's well-being. 10. Chanel Iman and Sterling Shepard. At one point, it looked like Chanel Iman and Sterling Shepard had cracked the code to the perfect young Hollywood family. They met in 2018, married the same year, and welcomed 2 adorable daughters soon after. Chanel was thriving in the modeling industry, and Sterling was making plays with the New York Giants. Their social media was filled with picture-perfect moments, sweet family photos, happy smiles, and all the signs of a couple completely in sync. But by 2021, fans sensed something had shifted. The first clue, they quietly scrubbed photos of each other from Instagram. Then Chanel was spotted without her wedding ring. Rumors spread fast, but the couple stayed silent, giving nothing away. The truth finally surfaced in January 2022. Sterling had actually filed for divorce months earlier. Back in the summer of 2021, they had been separated long before anyone knew. Unlike many celebrity splits, theirs was surprisingly calm. No scandals, no public arguments, no messy online back and forth, just 2 people who drifted apart and chose to end things respectfully. Since then, both Chanel and Sterling have focused on raising their daughters and keeping their co-parenting relationship steady and peaceful, proving that not every breakup needs to be a battlefield. 11. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa. This breakup didn't just make headlines, it practically shattered the internet. When Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa announced their split, fans were stunned. They weren't just another Hollywood couple, they were the effortlessly cool bohemian meets warrior duo everyone admired. Lisa, the mysterious, soulful icon from The Cosby Show and A Different World, and Jason, the larger-than-life Aquaman with the wild hair and tribal tattoos, felt like a real-life mythic love story. Their romance had a magical quality. Jason openly admitted he'd adored Lisa since childhood. She was his dream girl long before they ever met. And somehow, against all odds, that dream came true. Despite the age gap, they connected deeply. Their blended family was just as enchanting. Lisa's daughter Zoe, from her previous marriage to Lenny Kravitz, fit perfectly into the home they built, and Jason embraced his role as a stepfather with genuine love. Together, they raised 2 children of their own in a peaceful Malibu sanctuary, an off-the-grid bohemian paradise far removed from Hollywood chaos. Then January 2022 arrived, and everything changed. Their separation announcement was gentle, poetic, and full of soul, exactly what you'd expect from Lisa. They spoke about transformation, evolution, and releasing each other with love so they could continue growing as individuals. Their divorce became official a year later, in January 2023, with joint custody arrangements that reflected their respect for one another. What's truly heartwarming is how united the family remains. Jason still shows up for Zoe, and even shares moments with Lenny, proving their bond wasn't just romantic, it was family. True to her private nature, Lisa never revealed what caused the split. Jason later shared that they simply grew in different directions, a reality that happens even in the strongest love stories. And despite the heartbreak, they've handled everything with grace, warmth, and unwavering maturity. 12 Solange Knowles and Alan Ferguson. The divorce between Solange Knowles and Alan Ferguson was handled with the grace and composure you'd expect from anyone connected to the Knowles dynasty. Solange, the brilliantly creative younger sister of Beyoncé, married the acclaimed director in 2014 in a breathtaking New Orleans ceremony. The entire wedding was a visual masterpiece, an all-white theme, an ethereal gown flowing behind Solange, and a vibe that felt almost otherworldly. Alan, who had worked with top artists including Beyoncé, understood both the artistic intensity and the public pressure that surrounded the family. Their shared creative vision seemed to fuel a strong bond. During their marriage, Solange released some of her most celebrated work, including When I Get Home, a project that cemented her evolution as a deeply expressive artist. But by 2019, quiet murmurs suggested something was off. True to her character, Solange kept her private life tightly protected, so there were no public arguments or visible signs of trouble. Then in November of that year, she posted a beautifully written Instagram message confirming they had quietly separated earlier in 2019. Her announcement was pure Solange, poetic, introspective, and deeply authentic. She spoke about honoring the sacredness of her own truth, an elegant way to share something so personal without feeding the gossip cycle. She made it clear that while the journey had changed, the respect remained. No drama, no accusations, no messy online back and forth. Just two mature adults acknowledging that their paths had diverged and choosing dignity over spectacle. 13 Taraji P. Henson and Kelvin Hayden. The relationship between Taraji P. Henson and Kelvin Hayden was one of those love stories that looked rock solid, until it suddenly wasn't. Taraji, the powerhouse behind roles in Empire and The Color Purple, found comfort and joy with Kelvin, a retired athlete who had played for the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. Since he understood fame, pressure, and public scrutiny, fans believed he was the perfect match for her. When they got engaged in 2018, Taraji radiated happiness. After navigating her share of painful relationships, she spoke openly about feeling like she had finally found the person meant for her. They began planning a dreamy spring wedding, and she talked excitedly about stepping into wifehood again. Everything seemed aligned. But then 2020 arrived, the year that flipped the world upside down. Their wedding was postponed again and again due to the pandemic. Like countless couples, they found themselves spending long, uninterrupted months together at home, and sometimes, stillness reveals truths noise usually hides. It became clear that they weren't as compatible as they once believed. In October 2020, Taraji appeared on The Breakfast Club and confirmed the news no one expected: they had ended their engagement. She explained candidly that they had tried therapy and put in the work, but love alone couldn't bridge the gaps between them. The saddest part? They were so close to getting married. The planning, the excitement, the hope, only for everything to unravel. But Taraji handled the split like the queen she is, speaking honestly without placing blame or dragging Kelvin through the mud. True to her nature, she chose honesty, healing, and forward movement. Now she's focusing on her craft, her growth, and her son. And from the looks of it, she's thriving more than ever. 14 Anderson .Paak and J.A. Lin Chang. The news of Anderson .Paak filing for divorce stunned fans everywhere. He had always spoken about his family with such warmth that people believed his marriage was unshakable. For over a decade, he built a life with Lin Chang, often crediting her for holding him down during the years when he was just another struggling artist trying to break into the industry. They shared two sons, Sol Rashid and Shine Tariq, and Anderson frequently posted sweet moments with them, goofy selfies, family outings, and snapshots that showed just how much he adored being a father. To the outside world, they looked like a tight-knit, loving household. That's why January 2024 came as such a shock. Anderson officially filed for divorce, requesting joint custody of the boys and asking the court to remove any possibility of spousal support. That detail alone hinted that the split may not have been as peaceful as fans hoped. Still, everything was handled with surprising quietness. Unlike many celebrity breakups, there were no explosive headlines, no social media feuds, no public accusations. Anderson has always guarded his personal life closely, choosing to put his energy into music and expanding his business ventures rather than feeding the rumor mill. Meanwhile, Lin stayed completely out of the spotlight, just as she always had, which made the silence even easier to maintain. In the end, it's a reminder that even relationships that look strong from the outside can reach a breaking point. It's sad, yes, but sometimes it's simply part of life's unpredictable journey. 15. Saweetie and YG. The romance between Saweetie and YG felt like a West Coast hip-hop love story, just one that didn't quite make it to the fairy tale ending fans hoped for. When they began dating in April 2023, the pairing seemed almost perfect. Saweetie was thriving with chart-topping hits and a glamorous image, while YG, the Compton native, had built a respected career and brand in the rap world. They shared similar backgrounds, understood the pressures of fame, and appeared to have effortless chemistry. When they finally went public, fans were excited. Two California stars supporting each other both privately and professionally. They looked great together at events, and their posts online struck the right balance, sweet enough to show affection but not overly flashy. But the sparkle faded faster than expected. By January 2024, not even a full year after the relationship began, the couple had already gone their separate ways. It was quick, even by celebrity timelines. Neither artist offered dramatic explanations or messy statements, which was probably a smart move. In the hip-hop world, relationship drama can explode into unnecessary feuds and public chaos. Staying silent kept things clean. Saweetie has always been career-driven, focused on expanding her brand and staying booked and busy. YG, meanwhile, has kept his personal life quieter in recent years, choosing to stay low-key rather than invite public commentary. In the end, the breakup wasn't explosive, just two successful artists realizing the timing wasn't right. And today, both seem to be doing just fine, each locked in on their music, their growth, and their own paths forward. 16. Tory Lanez and Raina Shaheen. This divorce shocked the internet, mostly because no one even realized Tory Lanez was married in the first place. When Raina Shaheen filed for divorce in June 2024, it felt like the news came out of thin air. Tory was already behind bars for the high-profile shooting involving Megan Thee Stallion, and then suddenly this divorce announcement dropped on top of everything else. It turned out the marriage had lasted less than a year, incredibly short even by celebrity standards, and the timing couldn't have been worse. The paperwork was filed while Tory was literally serving his sentence, making the situation even more complicated. Raina listed irreconcilable differences, the go-to explanation when someone wants to avoid spilling painful or messy details. She requested custody of their 7-year-old son, Kylon, which is understandable since Tory is unable to be physically present or active as a parent right now. The saddest part is that their child is the one caught between all the chaos. Having a father in prison is already hard for a kid, but adding a divorce on top of that makes everything heavier. Raina has chosen to keep things as quiet as possible, a smart move considering the storm surrounding Tory's legal troubles. Despite the drama, she seems determined to protect her son and move forward with dignity. 17. Victoria Monet and John Gaines. The breakup between Victoria Monet and John Gaines surprised fans not because of drama, but because they managed to keep it hidden for nearly a year. Victoria, a gifted artist who has created music with stars like Ariana Grande and Chloe X Halle, always seemed to glow when John was by her side. And John, with his thriving fitness career, looked like the perfect partner, supportive, present, and genuinely proud of her accomplishments. Their daughter Hazel arrived in 2021, and the adorable family photos Victoria shared made everyone believe they were living a fairy tale. John was constantly promoting her work, cheering her on as her solo career started gaining well-deserved attention. From the outside, everything looked blissful, but social media rarely shows the full picture. Behind the scenes, the pair quietly ended their relationship in late 2023. Instead of going public immediately, they took months to figure things out privately. It wasn't until September 2024 that they finally released a joint statement confirming the breakup. The timing made sense. Victoria's career was skyrocketing, and announcing the split earlier might have overshadowed her achievements. Waiting showed how intentional they were about protecting their peace and their daughter. Co-parenting a 3-year-old while living in the spotlight is no small task, yet Victoria has handled everything with remarkable grace. She's been fully committed to her music and motherhood, making sure Hazel feels secure through all the changes. John, meanwhile, has stayed out of the public conversation, likely a wise choice as they navigate this new chapter. Despite the quiet heartbreak, both seem focused on stability, privacy, and doing what's best for their little girl. 18. Chance the Rapper and Kirsten Corley. The separation between Chance the Rapper and Kirsten Corley was one of the most dignified celebrity breakups in recent years. These two had been together since they were teenagers, and for so long, their love story felt like something straight out of a coming-of-age romance. Chance often spoke about Kirsten being his first love, the person who stood beside him long before fame, awards, or worldwide recognition. Their 2019 wedding was emotional and unforgettable. Chance became so overwhelmed during his vows that the entire room teared up. His devotion to his faith and family had always been a core part of who he was, and marrying Kirsten felt like the natural extension of that journey. They went on to welcome 2 beautiful daughters, Kensley and Marley, and Chance often shared heart-melting photos of their little family. He truly seemed happiest when he was at home, embracing fatherhood. So when they announced their separation in April 2024, fans were blindsided. But the joint statement they released showed nothing but maturity. It was thoughtful, calm, and full of appreciation for the years they spent together. It was clear the decision came from careful reflection, not impulsive emotions. Their message emphasized what mattered most: their daughters. They pledged to continue co-parenting with love and respect, proving that even when a romantic chapter ends, family can remain strong. In the end, they handled everything with a level of grace that many admired, choosing compassion over conflict and putting their children first. 19. Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter. The divorce between Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter was messier than anything daytime television could ever script. After more than 2 decades of marriage, he wasn't just her husband, he was also her manager, business partner, and the man involved in nearly every detail of her career. They built an empire together, and from the outside they looked like a powerhouse duo who could survive any storm. But behind closed doors, the cracks had been spreading for years. Rumors of Kevin's infidelity followed them constantly, though Wendy fiercely defended her marriage every time. Then 2019 arrived, and the truth spilled everywhere. He hadn't just been having an affair, he had fathered a child with his longtime mistress. The scandal exploded across headlines, and suddenly their private pain became a very public spectacle. All of this hit while Wendy was already battling serious personal challenges, addiction struggles, health setbacks, and the stress of her thyroid condition. She was fighting for her well-being while the world watched her marriage collapse in real time. When the divorce was officially announced in April 2019, Wendy stunned everyone with her grace. She expressed love for Kevin and even wished him well with his new family, a gesture of strength few could manage under such circumstances. But she was also firm. She wanted the divorce finalized quickly. No more chaos, no more betrayal. She chose peace, healing, and a fresh start. Heartbreak doesn't spare anyone, not even the celebrities who seem larger than life. And as these stories prove, behind all the glitz and glamour lies real pain, real heartbreak, and real vulnerability. Did we miss a major split you believe deserved a place on this list? Drop it in the comments. We always want to hear your take. Before you go, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new deep dive. More hidden stories, shocking truths, and Hollywood secrets are coming your way in the next video. Stay tuned.